Hey everyone, Lance here, and today we're getting ready to hear from Sara, owner of Accelerated Health Products, about how to do a proper liver flush. So she'll be referencing some products that can all be found at her website, which is acceleratedhealthproducts.com, and we'll have links to everything below in the description as well. Now, also just a reminder that everything we're talking about here today is for educational purposes only. Nothing we discuss is intended to treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure any disease or illness. So Sara, thank you for taking the time to walk us through everything we need to know about doing a proper liver flush. But before getting into those details, I was wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit about your first experience with doing your own liver cleanse or flush and kind of what that was like for you.
Yeah, of course. So before I learned about this one, I did one, I don't want to name it, but it involved fasting and liquid, essentially complete liquid diet. I think you were not allowed to have any solid food. I cheated and had a couple very clean dinners during the process, but you took, I think it was over 50 pills a day. Some things that were activated charcoal that constipated you, so then you needed to take something else to help with that problem. But you were also not eating any solid food, and it was just miserable. And at the end of every day, you did an olive oil, citrus fruit drink, and you got it down. And at the end of the cleanse, I was expecting to see gallstones in the toilet, like I was promised, and didn't see any. So it was miserable. I was starving. I was angry. I felt weak, and it didn't get me anywhere. So after that one, I then discovered this, which was a breeze and successful.
Very cool.
So, and I'm just going to mention that I'll probably be looking at some notes just so I don't forget anything, because there's a lot of good information that I want to make sure I share today.
Awesome.
So, when you think about the liver and the importance of the liver and what's going on in your body, the liver and the kidneys filter out the blood. You have a dirty liver, it equals dirty blood. Dirty blood equals dirty lymph. The lymph is the vacuum cleaner for the blood. So it's just a vicious cycle. So once I learned about what the liver does and what the kidneys do, I protect them like they're my own little babies. The liver has over 500 functions, and the four most important functions of the liver is to metabolize fat, metabolize estrogens, and metabolize the toxins that we're burdened by, and also to convert T4 into T3 which is needed for energy. When you think about T4 and T3, that 3 and 4 represent the atoms of iodine connected to the thyroid. Okay. And so that is also the importance of acceleradine, the iodine that I carry as well. That is needed for energy and also for apoptosis, which is automatic cellular death and rejuvenating new cells. So it kills off the bad cells and it produces new cells.
Is it the T4 or the T3 that leads to that, or is it?
It's the T3. So T4 is converted into T3, which is used 5 times more than T4.
Oh, and that's what the liver is doing, that conversion.
Exactly. So a side note, when people are given a thyroid medication, a lot of times it's just T4. Well, if the liver is gunked up and it's not able to convert that into T3, it doesn't do any good. So you might be on the medication, you still don't feel well, there's no more energy, and it's not doing its job.
So a clogged liver or liver not functioning the way it should, that could be, and if someone's not having enough energy, they're maybe trying to take more vitamins or minerals, and maybe that's doing some benefit, but it's still missing one of the big things could be with the liver and the T3. Is that possible? Yeah. Okay.
And the conversion. So that's where the liver is so important as far as all of the functions of the body. And if you think about it, when the liver's dirty and it's burdened by toxins and estrogens and the bad fats, not the good fats, but the bad fats. All of those things are then going to start creating these fibrins or gallstones. And these gallstones are not held in the gallbladder. They're actually held in the liver, and they're like little peas, green peas. Hopefully they're still green. If they're red or different colors, that's not a good sign. And that's something you can always look up on the internet as far as pictures of gallstones and the different colors and what they mean.
Okay.
Green gallstones are a sign that they're just cholesterol and bile. So what happens is with the toxins, when the liver is burdened with all of these toxins and bad estrogens, it encapsulates them, the junk, and tries to protect the liver, because if those things are just sitting in the liver as is, they turn acidic and cause more problems for the body. So what then happens is these gallstones are created, and they are porous. So they're a perfect place for bacteria and parasites and viruses to live and reside. So the other thing to think about is if you've got hundreds of little pea-sized gallstones, hopefully they're still just a pea size and not larger, in your liver, imagine how your liver is going to be able to function. It can't metabolize its fat. It can't metabolize the toxins or the estrogens the way it's supposed to.
So these gallstones are kind of starting out as a safety mechanism for the body, so to speak. Is that the idea? Like there's too much, whether it's fat or toxins, for the liver to metabolize or break down, so they kind of just form into these balls as kind of like the better of two evils.
Exactly. Okay. And then a normal liver, which usually weighs about 3 pounds, can weigh up to 8 pounds full of gallstones. Wow. And then you think, oh my gosh, how is this liver working? A lot of people say, well, why do you need to do a liver cleanse? The body's meant to cleanse itself. It's meant to function by itself. Well, that's great. Yeah. If you were living the way our ancestors lived. They were not bombarded by these xenoestrogens and the toxins in our air and the pesticides and the amount of sugar that we eat. Sugar causes estrogen dominance in the body. The foods and the processed foods that we eat, that was not around back with our ancestors. And so the body's not meant to be dealing with all of these toxins. So yes, we do need to cleanse the liver like this, and not do it not as our ancestors didn't need to do it. Sorry about that. And
it's more just, I guess, is that what you're saying? The overburden of toxicity in our environments is just, it's kind of like our livers haven't adapted to become faster, more efficient, so to speak. Is that
exactly
a good way to say it? Okay.
Exactly. So some things just to think about with what can cause high estrogen in the body is, like I said, sugar. It turns the body acidic. Tap water. The tap water is full of estrogens because of women taking birth control or hormone therapy, and it going into our tap water, and then our water filters not able to take those things out. So then we're re-ingesting them.
Is this something that even, say across the U.S. as an example, like even the states that are known to have cleaner water, they're still finding levels of estrogen? That would be...
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then in our conventional meat and dairy and poultry, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian, but I eat organic and grass-fed. When you're talking about 90% of the livestock across the United States, they're put implants of estrogen behind their ears to help the cows grow fatter quicker, to produce more meat and supposedly tastier meat because it's fatter, and improve their profit margins. Mm-hmm. So that's another source of estrogens that are harmful to the body.
So if you're going with organic, is that should be pretty safe, or you should be, if it says
Yeah.
no antibiotics no hormones used, then you're clear of that. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So with
Wow.
the estrogens, that covers that. But then as far as the acceleridine with the iodine, that helps balance and regulate the estrogen in the body. And it also has been shown to help with breast cancer and help out with the conversion of the T4 to T3. So that's another issue that you want to make sure you cover, is getting enough iodine in your diet.
So is that one of the roles of iodine, is actually it helps to facilitate that, like it helps the liver to do it, or does it actually function as the mechanism that converts the T4 to T3, if that makes sense?
It does both, because as it's regulating the estrogens in the body, your liver's not going to be overburdened by the estrogen, so that it is able to convert the T4 into T3, and then it's also providing the iodine molecules for the T4 and the T3.
Okay, so it's helping to lighten some of the load of the liver there, with not having to break down as much estrogen. Is that
Right?
okay? Cool. Wow.
So the liver filters 1/4 of the body's blood at any given moment. So let's see here. With that, if the liver is compromised by all of these gallstones in there, it's not going to be optimally functioning and able to cleanse the blood. Then it's going to put more pressure on the kidneys. So then you're going to get an issue with the kidneys and the liver.
So kidneys kind of end up being backup to the liver. Is that?
Yes, and that's why it is also important to make sure that you do a cleanse on the kidneys before doing a liver cleanse, and then also a cleanse on the colon before. So in preparation for the liver cleanse, you will want to do, I like the Uri-Flush, which is on my website. It's by Herbs Forever, and that helps clean out the kidneys. And then for the colon, you want to do the accelerated detox powder for at least a month before you start the 2-week liver flush process. That's going to help clean out the colon. It's got the activated charcoal in it, but it also has some other things in it that's going to help with any constipation. So you're going to continue with regularity, and it helps with bloat and soothing the whole intestinal lining and cleaning that out so that your colon is clean in preparation for the cleanse.
So what happens if you don't take the step of cleaning the colon and the kidneys beforehand? Is there a negative situation that can occur, or is it just not as effective? How does
both? If you think about, cleaning out some pipes in your house, you don't want to push on the upper pipe before the lower pipes are cleaned out, right? Because it's just going to create a blockage at the bottom of the pipes. So if you're flushing out all these gallstones, where are they going to go if the colon is backed up? Because anything that's backed up in the colon is just going to be reabsorbed into the body.
Okay.
So I do recommend doing the Uri-Flush prior to doing the liver flush, and at the same time you can do the detox powder. I also, if someone is constipated, which I define as not going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day, to do the Laxa Comfort. That is a natural supplement that you can take indefinitely, and it's very powerful and works as far as improving regularity on a daily basis. So that way you're making sure everything's coming out and cleaned out. And you can also do a colonic in preparation for the liver flush as well.
If someone's doing their own like a water or coffee enema at home, does that have a role or a place in any of this as far as? Okay.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great. So when you get into the liver flush, the steps are very simple. Like I said, with the one that I had done prior, I was fasting. It was a liquid diet. It was very painful. I was hangry. This one, you're eating real food, clean food. You're not eating beef or red meat or margarine, but I would recommend never having margarine or pork. So that's where you're going to be eating. You can eat your fruits and vegetables and grains if you do eat grains, and your fish and organic chicken and that sort of thing. I have done this prior to being on a ketogenic diet and doing it on a ketogenic diet. It is much easier when you're eating on a ketogenic diet because you're the hunger pains, there aren't any, especially on the last day when there's a bit of a fast for about 6 hours. It was a breeze when I was ketogenic, and when I wasn't, it was, I did get hungry, but that was just one day. For the 2 weeks leading up to it, what you're doing is you're taking 2 pills of the malic acid, 4 pills of Liverol Forte, and you take those 6 pills 3 times a day on an empty stomach. And you can take them with water, or you can take them with organic apple juice with the mother. The malic acid and the apple juice, and the malic acid in the apple juice, both help break down the gallstones and also open the bile duct. So that's the purpose of that. So the 2-week preparation is to soften the gallstones so they're easy to pass through and get out of the gallbladder and into the colon.
So it gives them kind of like almost like a little bit of a squishy nature, so they can kind of okay, cool.
So you'll do those 6 pills 3 times a day. Eat clean food. And then at night, you're going to do 1 tablespoon of the detox powder, and you can mix it with just water or water and apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. I usually do that with a little bit of stevia, and it makes it go down really quick. Okay. And then on the last day, you're going to eat a no-fat breakfast, or you can fast. If you're ketogenic, I find that it's easier just to fast and not eat. Then you're never going to get hungry. I actually found that when I had breakfast and ate a no-fat, carb-rich diet, it actually triggered my hunger signals and made me more hungry.
Okay. And so no fat would be like, would a dark meat chicken work, or is that going to have too much fat?
That would be too much. They recommend oatmeal. But like I said, that for me will trigger hunger.
Right.
But for some people, it's fine. If you're on a ketogenic shake, you can do that shake in the morning, and that's very helpful. Okay. So you're going to choose to have something to eat if you would like. And then at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to stop having anything but water. And then after about a few hours, you're going to do a serving of Mago 7, which is magnesium, and it's meant to cleanse the bowels. It's not a magnesium that you would want to take on a regular basis. It's just for the purpose of cleaning the bowels and helping relax the liver and all the muscles so that you are able to evacuate and go to the bathroom very quickly and easily. Okay. So you're going to do 1 dose of that, and then a couple hours later you do another dose, and then you're going to put together a shake of olive oil and citrus fruit, and then optional is to add 12 drops of acceleridine, because when you're doing that is going to go straight into the liver and kill off some of the parasites. So,
and how does that work? Does the olive oil act as a mechanism, or the citrus or something?
Yes. So when you then put all of that in the blender, the olive oil and the citrus fruit emulsify. And when you drink it down really fast, you lay on your right side immediately. And within 20 minutes, that concoction is going to be like a slip and slide going through your liver and your gallbladder and flushing all of those stones out into the colon.
Huh. Okay. Wow.
And it can create some nausea. So I do recommend having ginger tea ready to go that you can sip on.
And what's
The
that nausea coming from, I guess? Is it the
it's the
toxins?
it's the gallbladder and the toxins and everything that could be backed up.
Okay.
So it's kind of you feel like it's going to come up, but it never does. And I have to tell you, when I did it on the ketogenic diet, I had no nausea whatsoever. It was much more comfortable for some reason.
Interesting. And is this something in your experience, every time you do it, you may feel some of this nausea, that kind of discomfort? It's just part of the process, or what's,
No, I would say I've done it multiple times. I'd say 30% of the time I did feel the nausea.
okay.
And I think it was related to how dirty my liver is. So
Hmm.
the more I've done, the less nausea and the easier the drink goes down. The drink's actually not bad at all. It tastes, I mean, olive oil and citrus fruit,
Yeah.
two good tasting things. You put
Yeah.
them together and it's not that bad. And by that time you're hungry anyway. So,
Now, if someone's going through their, at a point where they're already kind of feeling somewhat sick from maybe something else they're going through, or maybe whatever's happening, is there a way to do like a half strength, or just kind of like dip your toe in a little bit just to make sure you don't, I don't know, cause just a huge amount of sickness? Or is that even an
right.
issue, if that makes sense?
What I would recommend if someone is very sensitive, I
Yeah.
would just do the pills for more than 2 weeks to really start cleaning out the liver and making sure
Mm.
your colon is clean, make sure your kidneys are flushed out, and maybe do the pills for 3 to 4 weeks instead of just 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
But really, the ginger tea is very helpful.
Okay.
It's amazing. Just taking a few sips, it really settles the stomach. I've
Hmm.
also done peppermint oil on. You can put that on your stomach on topically, and that
Mm-hmm.
helps with nausea. Just smelling the peppermint, things like that.
Is there a ginger tea, a brand or something you recommend?
I I like the Yogi. They've
Yeah.
got an organic ginger lemon tea that I really like,
Okay.
and that's what I've used.
Okay. Cool. That makes sense.
So after that, it's really important to drink the drink standing up and then laying down, like I said, on your right side immediately. The
Hmm.
faster you lay down, the more stones you're going to get out. And that's because you're in a position where the bile can release and open the bile ducts and flush everything out of your liver. Then after about an hour or two, you want to flip over to the left side, which releases pressure on the off of the liver and the gallbladder and helps flush the stones through the colon easier.
So lying on your right side, you said for about an hour or two. Is that right?
At
And
least 20 minutes. And if you
okay.
fall asleep, when you end up waking up, switch over to the left side.
But if you can
That's
be on your
that's
right, like for an hour, if you can do an hour or two, is that even better? Is that the,
yes, I
oh,
do.
okay.
I want to make sure that those stones are out of my liver, so I definitely stay on my right side for a little longer.
Okay, cool.
Um, if you don't ever flip over to your left side, not a big deal, but it's something that could help.
Even could be, okay. And
Yeah.
pillow, like having a pillow while you're lying down, is that okay? Or do you want to be,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool, cool.
And then the next morning, you can do another dose of the Mago 7 to make sure you're really flushing your colon out and getting things out. You should see pretty clear water coming out of you with the stones. Sometimes you won't see the stones until later in the day or even the next day. There have
Hmm.
been times when I haven't seen stones initially, and then I would see them the next day for some reason. And then there are times when they came right out the first time.
Wow.
You can someone who's never done a flush before may not see stones the first time. I have a friend who did it and she definitely needed it. she was so angry at me afterwards because nothing came out. And I thought, oh God, what happened?
Yeah.
She then ended up doing another one and hundreds came out. So sometimes the body just needs to prep and get used to what's going on to get them out. And it's kind of like when you go and get a colonic, not much comes out the first time. And then the second time, your body really releases things and gets things out. So
is that something, I don't know if you're going to talk about that later, but as far as like doing subsequent ones, how do you have to wait a certain period of time, or, you know, like the example of your friend, how long she waited before doing it again? But that's something I'm kind of curious about.
She waited longer than I would have liked her to, but I would have recommended her doing it 2 weeks later.
2 weeks is a good, okay.
To do a series of them. I have another friend that was in a serious situation and really needed to do a big cleanse on her liver. And she did, I think, 6 cleanses back to back every 2 weeks because she was in a very compromised situation.
So for someone whose health is really compromised, this can do more to help the body. I think sometimes you do a good thing, it can almost put more stress on your body if you're in a compromised situation. But is this almost like drinking water? It's so good for your body that it responds really well. Yeah. If you're not feeling well or in a sick situation.
Yes, I recommend it for anybody. If someone really does not want to do that last day with the drink and the evacuation like it is, you can take the pills and do some good. Start flushing out the liver. It will slowly clean out the liver. The malic acid will soften the gallstones and they will hopefully come out slowly. But most people have hundreds up to thousands of gallstones in their liver. And the reason the doctors can't see them is their microscopes aren't big enough to see the small ones that we have. They only are able to pick up the real large gallstones. And something to know is your gallbladder surgery, taking the gallbladder out, I believe is the #1 surgery in the United States. It's unbelievable. It's a very big money maker for doctors. And it's a quote unquote easy surgery for them to do. And you do need your gallbladder. They tell you you do need your gallbladder. So if you have had your gallbladder taken out, you still are able to do this cleanse. And you, of course, can live without your gallbladder. But if you have your choice, keep your gallbladder.
So that's a great question. So someone maybe who's listening, maybe they're having that conversation with their doctor or something about maybe having their gallbladder removed. And again, I know this isn't, to cure, prevent, or treat anything. This is all for educational purposes. But, if someone's in a situation like that, is this something you might recommend to a friend? If you had a friend in that situation, is there any advice you might give? Yeah, if that makes sense.
I would definitely be doing this liver flush and maybe a series of them and then go back to the doctor. And you can also do castor oil packs over the gallbladder to help soften the gallstones as well. So there's other methods to help heal the gallbladder along the way if you're in that serious situation.
Okay, fantastic. But this would you say, one of the more powerful things you could probably do for helping your gallbladder?
Absolutely. I mean, from reports and from my own personal experience from doing this, the whites of your eyes are brighter, your skin is clearer,
cool.
Your energy just shoots up. People with weight issues, they lose weight through this because #1, you're getting rid of all those stones, but you're also increasing your liver's ability to metabolize fat. You're also increasing your liver's ability to convert that T4 into T3, which is your energy, which is your metabolism, which is related to the thyroid. So all of these things are going to just help the whole machinery of your whole body work better. And if your liver's clean, your lymph has an easier job, and your kidneys are able to function properly. So everything's able to filter and clean out and work more properly. and provide you true cellular energy.
Wow. So just as you're explaining that, I'm getting this idea of there's all these things we can do. Maybe it's dry brushing to get our lymph moving,
Yeah.
or the trampoline to get the lymph moving. But and those are good. But if your lymph is compromised because your liver is compromised, it's like you're doing all these healthful things, but you feel like, why am I not getting more benefit from it?
Right.
And this is kind of going at, hey, get at a foundational level, I guess, getting something taken care of. Am I understanding that
Absolutely.
correctly?
All of those things are great. The other thing that I recommend for some people is the Get Well Naturals Lymph Cleanse. It's also on the website, and
Okay.
that helps just clean out the lymph as well. So you're kind of taking care of all aspects of your filters in your body. You've got the Uri-Flush for the kidneys. You've got the detox powder and the Laxa Comfort for the colon, and the lymph cleanse for your lymph, and then the whole liver flush for your liver. And when I'm not doing the liver flush, I do take the Liverol Forte on its own on a daily basis, just to make sure my liver's clean. And it's not necessary, but like I said, I really protect my kidneys and my liver, because without them functioning properly, your body slows down, everything backs up, and things just kind of, there's more chance for disease to be created.
I gotcha. Okay. That's cool. But so there's no harm in, like you're saying, continuing to do that. You're doing it on a daily basis still. It's just,
Right. I don't do the malic acid on a daily basis. I only introduce that during the cleanse. It is acidic, but it has a very purposeful job during the 2 weeks of the cleanse.
okay. That makes sense.
So,
Wow. So one other thought here is just, I'm just thinking about, sometimes there's folks who either personally or they know someone, a friend, family member, who they're trying to get excited about what can happen if you make some changes in your life, in a positive direction. Maybe you change your diet or you do something so that you actually feel it. Because I think sometimes you make a change, you take a vitamin, you do some exercise, you're like, I still don't feel that much better. I know this is good for me. But this seems like one of those things like just about anyone and everyone could do. And it'd almost be like a great gateway to, hey, continuing to do more things to take care of your health and your body, because this is something that sounds like just about anyone or everyone should experience a truly noticeable difference after doing it. Is that accurate? Or I don't want to set people up for wrong expectations.
No,
but
it's true. But when I do worry when someone goes on my website, I've never seen their name before, and they buy the liver flush, I would much rather them start with the gentle detox kit or the keto detox kit, because that sets your body up with cleaning out your body with the silver and the lateroflora, cleaning out the candida in your intestinal lining. It also has the detox powder. So it kind of does that prep for the colon and cleaning out the blood.
Okay.
And then doing the liver flush right after. So, but if someone doesn't want to do that, I do like them to be on a cleaner diet, trying to cut out the sugars, trying to cut down on the heavy carbs, and taking off the burden off of the liver before starting the liver flush.
Okay. And when you say taking the burden off, is that because if you don't do those things, eat cleaner and so forth, preparing for this, it can put a little bit more stress on the liver? Then is that?
Yes, and it might turn that person that is not really on a healthy protocol away from doing anything healthy. It could, when we were talking about the nausea, that person may experience more nausea than someone who has been on a cleaner diet and possibly done the gentle detox kit.
Okay, so it's still doing good, but it's going to feel like it's not doing good. Is that?
You're gonna experience some strong detox effects and maybe nausea, because like I said, dirty blood and dirty liver are going to cause backup, which that is what causes the nausea feeling. So not just on that one last day, but during the 2 weeks with the liver pills, as the Liverol Forte and the malic acid are doing their work, it could cause some nausea in
Okay.
someone that is really dirty. So,
Good.
I always try to take a person from where they are and give them a couple things to work on. I wouldn't take someone that's eating fast food and doesn't exercise and has no idea what the word organic means and throw them into a liver flush.
Okay, so that's a good thought there too, because that's kind of what I was almost thinking. The person who is on a fast food diet and not exercising, hey, do this so you can experience the wonders of making some healthy changes. But this could be too much too quick for that kind of a person.
Right. For that person, I actually would put them on the KETO Detox Kit, because the keto is going to kill their sugar cravings right away and make it easier for them to cut out the junk that they're eating and make them feel like, oh God, I can do this. And then the other supplements in that kit are super easy to do. They clean up their diet a little bit. And then a month later, okay, I'm ready for that liver flush. And then you're really feeling great.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's great. That'll, yeah, I'm glad you said that.
So that's, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we haven't covered.
Is there any benefit to talking about, like you mentioned in the beginning, one of the cleanses you did that wasn't as helpful or just didn't feel as well? I guess it sounded like both. You didn't feel well and it didn't do as much for you.
Yeah.
Are there a lot out there that maybe you find are kind of in that same boat where they are technically a liver flush or cleanse, but people are doing them and trying them and I don't know if there's anything you'd want to say about that. But
well, the only thing I'd say is I always laugh after the New Year's. You'll see all of these people drinking these green juices, and they're on a cleanse, and they're supposed to drink 6 green juices a day and not eat real food for a week.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there going, you're going to become angry and hungry, and you're not flushing anything out. There's no end game. There's no big surprise at the end. And you're not really doing anything except for, I guess you're not eating the junk and the alcohol that you were having. So that's good, but it's really not it's not gonna do anything for the gallstones or the liver health in the long run.
Okay. That makes sense. And so really this cleanse that you've just described, this is the one that you would say really for anyone and everyone, this would work. There's other than someone who's maybe not living a healthy lifestyle at all. And then it's just, let's work up to get you ready to do this. It's not that this wouldn't be a good one to do, but is that correct? Or are there others? Okay.
Yeah. And when I say so, not everyone would be ready to do it. Anybody, if we take that person that's not exercising and eating fast food, if they do the KETO Detox Kit or the Gentle Detox Kit and just clean up their diet for even just a month and then do this, it would be totally appropriate.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not talking about years of preparation.
Okay.
Just weeks.
Okay. Now, what about for children, someone more senior, folks on the other end of the spectrum? Is there any extra caution there? I mean, is this something that is safe for, children? You have someone in grade, kids in grade school or something. Would that work? Would this work?
So my kids have had issues with their liver before. I've put them on the Liver Forte. I've never put them through a liver flush.
Okay.
If there was a severe issue, this is safe for children. I do have senior clients that have done it and feel like they're, back in their 50s instead of in their 70s. So
cool. Yeah.
It's, as long as the person is able to, lay on their right side and drink what they need to drink and get things done like that, there's no reason that age would be an issue.
Okay. And is there a particular age you think this would be good to kind of start as a routine? Once you hit your whether it's college years or 30s or 40, is there hey, by now if someone
I would start as soon as you're have the energy for it. I would start in my early 20s.
Cool.
Yeah. You take advantage of your years and start early, it's going to just, lengthen your life and lengthen the health of your healthy liver. So
awesome. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I guess the only other thing I was kind of curious about, and you talked about some of this before, if there were any other stories of people maybe you've worked with going through this particular cleanse, and just whether it's the good or bad that happened, maybe that there was something they were going through and how this maybe helped, or I don't know if there's anything that comes to mind that you think might be helpful or encouraging for people to hear who are considering.
Yeah. So the one interesting one was a man that was probably not as healthy or didn't eat as clean as I would like, did it, and he's overweight, and he did feel a bit nauseous, but the stones that came out were red, which is not a good sign. So It was a good thing that he did the cleanse, and his health has improved since. And then the other was the friend that I mentioned that did multiple ones that, the first one didn't work. The second one was very successful. And a lot of times that will happen. Just within my own family, stones, hundreds of stones have come out. And it's very successful. Very few people give it bad reviews. I mean, besides the nausea, but when it's over, everyone's happy. They've done it and it was successful.
And I just had one more thought on that nausea then, because I could see that being a bit of a, oh boy, is that one of those, hey, by 24 hours, it should be gone, 12 hours?
Oh, yeah. So the nausea really only lasts for about an hour.
Oh.
So it's not much at all. It's when you're drinking the drink and possibly laying down on your right side, but you essentially fall asleep because it's about 10 p.m. at night anyway.
Oh.
So you fall asleep, and then when you wake up, you're feeling fine.
Okay, cool. Wow, that's awesome.
And then the other bit, I do recommend getting a colonic the next day. You will get a lot more stones out. It's optional. You don't need to do it, but it will help a lot more stones to come out.
Would doing your own enema also help, or is a colonic going to be that much? Okay.
No, an enema would work as well.
Okay, either one. Okay. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Good to know. Wow. So that can, and just the next day is what you're saying for something like that to really kind of like a supercharge what you've done, right. I guess.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. Cool. Wow. This is incredible. Thank you, Sara.
No, and I think we covered everything. And if anyone has any other questions, you can always look on my website. There's information on the flush, and I'm always happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And what I like is not only did you go through so many details about just, kind of step by step what to do, but I really feel like you gave a lot of like me and everyone listening, but, confidence and motivation to do this, which I think is important too, kind of get fired up. For anyone watching, definitely, if you have questions or comments, something we didn't answer, maybe there's something specific about your situation, or you're getting into this and you're like, uh-oh, this happened, and I didn't hear Sara talk about this. What do I do? Definitely don't hesitate to, leave a comment or question below. I know Sara enjoys responding to as many of those as she can. So, thank you everyone for joining us today, and thank you again so much, Sara, for all the valuable information you shared. And we hope to see everyone again soon.
Thanks, Lance.
All right, thanks. Bye, everyone.